Am I the asshole for getting a babysitter because my mom was keeping her home? I'm a single mom with a 4-year-old daughter, Anna. Anna and I live with my mom. We both work and Anna goes to daycare full-time. Daycare would be about half my income, so I get a subsidy that covers $1,400 out of her $2,000 tuition. The only condition of the subsidy is that she actually has to show up. If she misses too many days, I lose the subsidy. I go to work at 7:30 and daycare opens at 8, so my mom would be the one to take Anna to daycare. Anna's main teacher is a 21st-year-old girl. When I've talked to her, she's always been very animated and energetic. She's great with the kids. Anna always comes home saying this teacher brought stickers, she brought juice, she brought bubbles, she did face painting, etc. And always has fun crafts that she did with her teacher. This teacher is her favorite person in the world right now, and Anna often runs away from my mom to jump on this teacher in the mornings and hides when my mom picks her up because she doesn't want to leave this teacher. My mom started to get jealous that Anna likes the teacher better than her, so she started keeping her home from daycare on her days off. When she only has 1-2 easy clients, she cleans houses. I found out Anna missed 5 days over the past 3 weeks. I asked my mom about it and she told me she wanted Anna to spend more time with family instead of with teachers. I told my mom Anna needs to be in daycare unless she's sick or I would lose the subsidy. She was arguing that if Anna needs to be in daycare, she should be in one with more family values and not some rich white girl trying to save the poor kids. The teacher is a girl from a well-off family marrying into a well-off family, and the daycare isn't in the most well-off neighborhood. She has bins full of clothes for the kids, gave everyone a water bottle with their name on it, has a much nicer classroom than the other teachers, and drives a car worth more than my mom and I combined could make in a year. She's setting up a field trip to the local airport so her fiancé can talk to the kids about flying planes and so they can look at his jet. I told her I wouldn't. This is the best daycare that takes this subsidy and I won't be moving her just because she's jealous. She was still insisting on Anna either being with family or being in a more family-based daycare, so I got her a babysitter. I drop her off to my neighbor at 7:30 when I leave for work, and she drops Anna off at 8:15 on her way to take her kids to school. She only charges me $10 a day. I don't love the breakfasts that she gives Anna, but I know she's going to daycare and I won't lose the subsidy. Now my mom is pissed that I'm keeping Anna away from her. Am I the asshole for sending Anna to a babysitter in the mornings because my mom wasn't taking Anna to daycare? You are not the asshole. Your mother is overstepping, but the correct solution, regardless of how challenging it will be, is for you to move out and handle all of this on your own. Not the asshole. You sound like a responsible parent, and you did a good job solving a problem here. Congrats on getting your daughter a slot in an excellent daycare, preschool, and for doing what you need to do to keep the subsidy that pays for it. Early childhood education is super important. It sounds like your daughter is learning and socializing in a positive environment and that she loves being there. That's awesome, and it will help lay the foundation for future success in school. Your mom is being totally unreasonable, and sounds like you already know that. Would she be interfering with your daughter's education and keeping her home from school randomly if she was in 3rd grade? What about 11th grade? Sigh. Good luck as you continue to navigate this, and you're definitely not the asshole here. The teacher is a girl from a well-off family marrying into a well-off family, and the daycare isn't in the most well-off neighborhood. She has bins full of clothes for the kids, gave everyone a water bottle with their name on it, has a much nicer classroom than the other teachers, and drives a car worth more than my mom and I combined could make in a year. She's setting up a field trip to the local airport. Yeah, this is a great teacher. We should want more teachers like this. Your mom prob has jelly problems, not the asshole. Old lady can deal with it, instead of being jelly of a 4 years old. Not the asshole. Your daughter is thriving in her classroom and her teacher genuinely cares about her students. And most importantly, your daughter loves her. That stuff she's giving to students, those activities, mostly come out of her personal finances. How is this not family values? Teaching compassion and spreading joy? That's literally the best lesson to teach. Mom needs a refresher on that. Do whatever you can to keep your kid in this woman's class. If you need to have a friend pick her up to go to school, do it. If you can negotiate with your employer or the school to get a better drop-off time, do that. Whatever you need to do. Not the asshole. Your mom is risking your benefits and it's all because of her own jealousy. Kids pick favorites and they can change at any time. An adult should know better and not act like a child themselves. Not the asshole. Your mom's jealousy isn't a good reason to keep her out. You're just looking out for your daughter. Am I the asshole for yelling at my girlfriend that I am a person, not a comfort blanket? My F26 and my girlfriend, 23, have been together 3 years. My girlfriend struggles with a lot of anxiety over different things. For the last 3 years I've done my best to be there for her and help her navigate things. She is the type of person that will shut down rather than face something head-on. For example, I was once out when electric ran out. She rang me panicking and I told her how to fix it. She didn't understand, so just mentally shut down and refused to learn for if it ever happened again. My girlfriend knows how to drive, she has her license and a car, but she will refuse to drive if she doesn't feel comfortable. The only way to make her comfortable is if the place we are going is a place she knows really well, if she has either driven the route before or has spent hours on Google Maps, and I have to be next to her. She will not drive alone. Last January my sister died. I was obviously heartbroken. My girlfriend tried her best to be there for me, but I must admit I found myself feeling annoyed as I simply wanted to be left alone to process my feelings. Last month my other sister died. I was left feeling broken and even now cry every time I think about it. I feel like I didn't really get chance to process the first sister dying, so that made it even harder this time. I decided I needed time to process, so I stopped spending so much time and energy on helping my girlfriend do basic tasks. This has caused issues between us. She feels like I don't consider her a priority anymore. I feel completely burnt out. This morning she told me her and her therapist have made a plan that will help her be more independent. I was happy to hear this until she explained it involves me getting in her car every day while she drives around to build confidence. I told her I wasn't doing that. I explained I didn't want to be dragged around in the car a few hours every day. She kept nagging me about how she needed this and I was holding her back by not helping her. Eventually I lost my temper and yelled at her that I am a person, not a comfort blanket. I have my own shit I need to deal with and I'm not just available to her whenever she needs it. She started crying and hasn't spoken to me since. Did I go too far? Not the asshole, for wanting to prioritize your own well-being, but it might help to talk to her calmly and explain your need for space, especially while you're grieving. Encourage her progress toward independence, but set clear boundaries about what you can and cannot do right now. Not the asshole. I don't think you went too far at all, honestly. You've been incredibly supportive for the past 3 years, and it sounds like you've done more than enough to help her manage her anxiety. But at some point, you need to take care of yourself too, especially with everything you've gone through, losing not just one but 2 sisters. That's unimaginable grief, and you deserve the space and time to process it without being constantly expected to manage someone else's mental health. Not the asshole. Honestly, it sounds like your girlfriend isn't mature enough for a relationship. People are looking for a partner, someone who reciprocates the support they're given to the best of their ability. Your girlfriend takes weaponized incompetence to a whole new level regarding the running out of electric ordeal. She's not taking responsibility for herself. If she was, she'd work around your schedule first, check your boundaries rather than just assume you'll drop everything to cater to her. You have a lot to deal with, but girlfriend is focusing solely on herself and her feelings. This isn't an equal partnership. You're an unpaid carer, emotional support animal. You deserve better. Not the asshole. This isn't healthy for either of you. Maybe you can set up a time to do a couples session with her therapist. It seems odd to me that the therapist would create a plan that relies so heavily on you. It may be time to also seek therapy of your own. You've had a lot of responsibility and stress for a long time. No wonder you are burnt out. I wish you all the best in your recovery. Not the asshole, but I feel strongly that you either need to see a therapist together or need some time apart, perhaps both. It's okay that she finds comfort in you. It's not okay that she feels that need to use you to prop her up entirely. It's okay that you're not okay with being used that way and really need time, space, support for your own healing. It's probably not ideal the way that that's come out. However, it doesn't make you an asshole. Please take care of you, first and foremost. I'm so sorry you're dealing with so much and you were allowed that space etc. to process, grieve and be supported. Beyond that, dysfunctional relationship. There may be potential to reshape, but certainly not before you look after you. Not the asshole. In fact, you are being truthful. There is also no point in her learning how to manage her anxiety based on a reliance of you, because what will happen if you are not there anymore or unavailable? I'm not one for shouting leave after seeing a snippet of a relationship on here, but I want you to really think about what you are getting from this relationship and if it's doing you more harm than good. Am I the asshole? Our neighbors well dried up and we cut them off from using our water. Am I the asshole? Our neighbors well dried up and we cut them off from using our water. We live in a suburban country neighborhood, USA. All the homes are on well, septic. There are original 1960s ranchers with a few newer larger 90s homes sprinkled throughout. We're in a newer 90s house and the neighbors are in one of the original homes. We each have 2 low-yield wells and one of theirs has been dried up since before they bought the home. Last week their good well stopped working and they asked my wife if they could fill up buckets for their animals, more on this later, and garden. In the vein of being a good neighbor, she naturally said yes. They've had a well company out and have been messing with both their wells on their own. But these past few days there's been no work being done and they've provided no update. My wife asked what was up the other day and they said that they have basically been getting the run around by various well companies and they don't have time to pursue this harder. Every day it's multiple 5-gallon buckets in the morning and evening that they're filling with our hose. Probably 20-30 gallons each fill up. It's 2 adults and 8 kids in their home, a large garden and a large, illegal, number of chickens and turkeys. They've clearly brought this on themselves with heavy irresponsible water use. They have a bunch of roosters that are not legal and are driving the neighborhood crazy. So I've been kind of irritated that we're supporting the obnoxious rooster operation. Also obviously worried the increased use on our aquifer will mess our water flow up. But it's pretty cold to say, hey, you can't fill up your buckets anymore, you're on your own, so we've been wrestling with what to do. Yesterday they had an older lady walking around their yard yelling and praying for the wells to open up. This was the last straw for us. In my opinion, this is a serious problem that requires a serious, timely solution, and they've got a lady basically doing a rain dance. Last night my wife told the mom next door that we can't provide water anymore and that we could give them another 24 hours of water use to figure it out, and the mom got upset and walked away from my wife while she was speaking to her. Which makes us feel better about our choice, basically F them. They're rude and ungrateful, but again still obviously we feel bad about cutting off a house full of kids from water use. Also none of the other neighbors are going to help because they're upset about the roosters, so they're on their own now. Am I the asshole, eh? Not the asshole. They don't have time to pursue this harder. I mean, a lack of running water should absolutely be their top priority, especially given how many living things they have that need it. You have some legitimate concerns and some spurious reasons for doing it, but this is entirely on them. If they can't prioritize the one thing that absolutely everything needs to live and thrive, then that's on them. I'm quite sure they can go buy water at the store, so no one is in mortal danger here. Not the asshole. Don't run your well dry to water their farm. If you want to be neighborly still, give them drinking water for the humans. But they can go buy jugs of bubbler water for a few weeks while the well people figure it out. Also, might be a good idea to have your own well people give you an estimate on how much you can draw per day. Not the asshole, I think. It has only been a little over a week max. I don't know how long it takes to fix a well or what the solution is, but they can, I'm assuming, buy water at a store. I think you should probably put a cap on it, like you can't water your garden, but you can water your kids and chickens, and maybe a deadline like if they want to use your water you need to be kept up to date, and if anything changes in your water situation, you are going to cut them off immediately? Not the asshole. We too live with well and septic. There are companies that will provide a water buffalo tank for temporary use. Once they start paying for that, maybe they will work harder to fix the wells they've had since they bought the house to address the issue. Not the asshole. Frankly, you're a saint for allowing them to use your water for as long as you did. Even ignoring the illegal animals, supporting 2 households on your low-yield wells was never going to be a long-term solution. Cut them off now, and find some measures to ensure they aren't stealing water from you over the short term. Not the asshole. I have some experience with the well battles. Honestly, it feels a little odd to me that they didn't offer you some money or something. I get you were being neighborly, but given the whole 10 people. Are you saying they've been getting enough water for 10 people, cooking, showering, plus their chickens from you, via 5-gallon buckets? That's insane. I can't imagine how much water that is, let alone the pure logistics of getting all that in 5-gallon paint buckets. They're getting their steps in and some upper body work, that's for sure. Am I the asshole for staying in a hotel while my friend was trapped overnight inside the airport? My best friend and I, 20F, recently went on a trip to the UK. I actually have a UK passport since my dad is British, but my friend had to get a UK visa. We were supposed to take 2 flights, one that would arrive in France, and a connecting flight that would fly to the UK. However, the second flight ended up being cancelled. The next available flight wasn't until 2 p.m. the next day, so we would have to wait around 17 hours. The passengers were allowed to stay in nearby hotels for free. However, this didn't apply to people like my friend, who wasn't legally allowed to leave the airport because she didn't have a visa for Europe. Instead, she had to stay within a specific area of the airport that had these bright ceiling lights that would stay on 24/7. There was construction nearby, so there was this extremely loud drilling noise every so often. All the available seats were taken by other passengers, so my friend had to sleep on the floor. Plus, earlier that day, water got spilled on our phone chargers, and her phone was only on 40%. I had the option to stay with her, but I chose to go to the hotel instead. She was furious with me, accusing me of being a fake friend. She told me she was scared of being alone in a creepy unknown place and wanted me there to comfort her, and I assured her that I'll be back by the morning. She said I was acting selfish for not even spending one night with her, but I hadn't gotten any sleep in over 24 hours, and I didn't see why both of us had to suffer. Am I the asshole? You are the asshole, 100%. I'm not sure why you would think you're not. You left your friend, a young woman, alone in an airport in a foreign place, with a dying phone and no charger, and on top of that there was loud-ass construction nearby. You are selfish. It's one night. She told you she didn't feel safe. If anything happened and her phone died, there would have been no way for her to contact anyone. At least you would have had each other, but she had to stay at a bright airport while you slept comfortably because you didn't see why you both had to suffer. I hope she has better friends, because what the fuck are you? I'm mad for her, NGL. Mate, you left your friend in hell. Just think about how good of a friend she would consider you if you had stayed. You would be able to look back and say, God, remember that time we had to spend all night in that awful airport? Like once I stayed up all night with my mates in Barcelona airport because we missed the last train into town. We just drank beer and talked and flirted with the bar dude all night. You coulda had that. You are the asshole. You don't just abandon your mates and leave them on their own, especially not overnight and in a foreign country. I wouldn't leave my friend to walk to a corner shop alone at night, let alone overnight, where she's expected to sleep on the floor, miles away from home, surrounded by strangers and unable to leave this room to get herself anything to make it more comfortable. You are the asshole. You left your friend all by herself in a country she didn't know, where literally anything could have happened to her, just so you could get a good night's sleep. Meanwhile, she had to stay in an airport, get no sleep at all, and be stressed the entire night. Nobody here is going to think you did the right thing. You're a bad friend. If I were her, I would have cancelled my ticket and any other reservations I had the moment you walked out of the airport. I wouldn't have stayed on the vacation with you the rest of the time. You're selfish and only care about you. This is like that saying, a friend will bail you out of jail, but a true friend would be sitting next to you in the cell saying, that was fun, huh? You are neither of those people. You are the asshole. Why would you want your friend to suffer alone, knowing her phone battery was low? What if it died and she needed to contact you for something and couldn't? Or the opposite, what if something happened to you while you were out and you couldn't let her know because her phone had died?